So the inspiration for Disney Infinity was the idea of recreating what it is to play with toys, right? There's this simple fun in having a bunch of toys and putting them all together and making up a story and just playing. And that's what we wanted to do with Infinity, is recreate that. So in order to choose what we're going to put in the game, it's a big internal struggle because everybody does have their personal favorites, right? Ultimately, we do want to choose those things that make for a great game, right? Characters that have some mechanic or something that makes great sense for a video game and that have big followings. We do want it to cater to the fans as much as we can. We do see Infinity as a platform to deliver new Disney content in addition to the classics, right? So you'll see a lot in the game that's kind of from the back catalog, but moving forward, this is something we're going to use to support upcoming films, upcoming events at the Disney parks, things on the Disney Channel, things like that. So the stories for each of the playsets, they take place in the universe of the playset, but they're never a retelling of an existing story. When you play The Incredibles, it isn't just a retelling of The Incredibles movie. It's another story from that universe. All these were done in very close collaboration with the owners of those properties. So in the case of Monsters University, we were in close communication with Pixar frequently to review the art, the layouts we were using, the story arcs that we were going for to make sure that they approved and all these things kind of fit their vision for their characters. But we did want to tell our own story, right? We didn't want it attached to anything. So we've taken little bits and pieces from the films and expanded on those in ways that you'd never see in a 90-minute film. So in the toy box, you have a whole bunch of different kinds of toys. You have the very basics of things like building blocks and terrain. You will have a variety of buildings from some of the play sets and just from some other bits of Disney lore that you may recognize. You can bring in characters. We have fully intelligent characters that walk around and talk, and you can use them to help you do stuff, or you can fight against them if you want to. We have a full racetrack system. You can build your own racetracks and race on them with your friends or with computer-controlled players. My very favorite toys are what we call the Creativa toys, and these are toys that have behaviors you can connect together. So I mean, a really basic example is to have a door and a button. You can connect the button to the door and the door opens when you step on the button. Very, very basic. But we have cool toys that change the perspective. We can have it be a top-down perspective or a side view perspective. So I'm a big fan of retro arcade games. Using a side view perspective and a few carefully placed blocks, we can recreate an old arcade game like Donkey Kong. So the possibilities there are really exciting. Some of our testers have made some pretty involved stuff. One tester made a fully functional analog calculator. So using those same doors I mentioned as like the pixels on a calculator, turning those on and off in intelligent ways, was able to make a fully functioning calculator. So if you want to play Infinity with your friends, you have a couple of ways you can do this. The first is you can play two players on the same console. You put another figure on the Infinity base and you have another controller handy. You can play split screen anywhere in the game. In the toy box, you can also have 4 players play over the internet. And everybody can build, everybody can do the logic programming. It's not like you're restricted in any way if you're a guest player as opposed to a host. All that's available to you. We also have the ability to share content through the internet. So I can save a world that I've built that I'm pleased with, I can send it to Disney, and Disney can review it and elect to publish it through the game so that other people can experience the content that I've created. I hope to see kind of this continual hybrid of bits of the real world and bits of the digital world. I mean, there's something just kind of irreplaceable about a physical toy that you can hold and touch. You can't really recreate 100% of that. So I'm glad that we have that component of the game. Working in video games, you can't go to a video game development office that isn't loaded with toys and collectibles. Everybody has them all over their desks and on their shelves, and so we wanted to have a collectible from what we did that we could display proudly on the shelf, right? And I think that there's something that adds to the game that you can't replace. So I hope that that's the way things go. And then, yeah, having a game that's live that you can continue to add content to, you can continue to support. I certainly hope that's the way things continue to be. Because if I have a great game, I want more of that great game.